For thousands of years, humans and wild predators have lived side by side, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in conflict. But in the modern world, that balance is shifting. As human populations grow, the wild spaces that once belonged to animals are shrinking. Forests are cut down for farmland, highways slice through hunting grounds, and entire ecosystems are being transformed. For adaptable predators like leopards, survival has never been more complicated. These elusive big cats are masters of stealth, often moving undetected through human settlements. But when their natural prey disappears, they turn to an easy alternative: livestock. Across Asia and Africa, farmers are struggling to protect their cattle, goats, and sheep from leopard attacks. For many, losing even a few animals can mean financial ruin. And when leopards start preying on livestock, retaliation is swift and brutal. Poisoning, shooting, and trapping have led to widespread declines in leopard populations. Now conservationists are looking for alternative solutions. One idea is as controversial as it is intriguing: feeding wild leopards to prevent livestock attacks. Could a steady food supply reduce human-wildlife conflict? Or would it create even bigger problems? This question has divided experts, farmers, and wildlife lovers worldwide. Some argue that providing food could prevent leopards from hunting farm animals. By giving them an alternative, we could reduce the motivation to attack livestock. In theory, this could benefit both humans and leopards, protecting livelihoods while conserving a species under constant threat. A few test programs have already been attempted. In India, where leopard attacks on livestock are frequent, some villagers have experimented with feeding stations. Instead of targeting farm animals, leopards are given access to wild prey, such as deer or wild boars. Initial results suggested a decline in livestock predation, sparking interest in expanding the practice. But the idea of feeding wild predators is not without controversy. Opponents argue that this could lead to long-term dependence. Would leopards stop hunting altogether if food was consistently available? And what happens if the feeding programs stop? Some fear that leopards, accustomed to an easy food source, could become even bolder in searching for alternatives. Rather than hunting wild prey, they might begin approaching human settlements more frequently. This raises another chilling concern. Could feeding programs actually increase attacks on people? History offers some alarming lessons. We've seen similar patterns in other predators, like bears and hyenas. Animals that lose their fear of humans often become dangerous. In parts of Africa, hyenas have learned to scavenge from villages and even snatch unattended children. Would leopards, one of the most efficient ambush predators on Earth, develop similar behaviors? There's also the risk of disease spreading when multiple leopards feed at the same site. Wild predators don't naturally gather in large numbers. Feeding programs could force unnatural contact, leading to outbreaks of disease. Rabies, feline distemper, and other deadly illnesses could spread more easily among leopards, further threatening their survival. And then there's the ethical dilemma. Should humans interfere with nature in this way? Some believe that feeding programs disrupt the natural balance of predator-prey relationships. Instead of encouraging leopards to hunt, we would be turning them into scavengers. But what if this is the only way to save them? Leopards are already vanishing in many regions due to human-wildlife conflict. In some parts of India, retaliation killings have wiped out entire populations. Should we prioritize conservation, even if it means altering leopard behavior? There's no easy answer, and different regions are approaching the problem in different ways. In Namibia, conservationists are exploring non-lethal methods to deter leopard attacks. Instead of feeding them, they are working with farmers to improve livestock protection. Fencing, night enclosures, and livestock guardian dogs have all proven effective in reducing predation. In other areas, motion sensor lights and alarms have helped keep leopards away from farms. And some conservationists argue that the best solution is restoring wild habitats. Leopards hunt livestock because their natural prey is disappearing. By protecting forests and grasslands, we could ensure they have enough to eat, without human intervention. But habitat restoration takes time. And for farmers facing immediate losses, waiting for long-term solutions may not be an option. So, should we consider feeding as a temporary fix? Some experts believe that feeding stations could work as a short-term measure while conservation efforts improve. But the risk of dependency remains a major concern. Once a wild predator learns to associate humans with food, can that behavior ever be reversed? Some believe that feeding leopards will inevitably lead to more aggressive encounters. Others argue that if done carefully, it could reduce conflict and protect leopard populations from extinction. The debate isn't just about leopards, it's about how we choose to coexist with nature. We have seen similar discussions arise with wolves, bears, and even sharks. Do we adapt to predators, or do we force them to adapt to us? As human expansion continues, this question will become even more urgent. The way we handle predator conflicts today will shape the future of wildlife conservation. Leopards have survived for millions of years by adapting to changing environments. But can they adapt to a world increasingly dominated by humans? The truth is, this debate has no simple answer. What works in one region may fail in another. What helps in the short term could have disastrous consequences in the future. And once we start feeding wild predators, we may never be able to stop. So, should we take that risk? Or should we trust in nature to find its own balance? This is one of the most complex wildlife dilemmas of our time. The choice we make will determine the future of leopards and the future of our relationship with the wild. Because once we interfere with nature, we can never undo the consequences. Will we make the right decision? Or are we playing a dangerous game that could backfire? Only time will tell.